Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Closing the Distance, the show where we try and help everyone get to know my guests through a few light personal questions. Today, I am delighted to have one of my favorite people on the show. She is the church secretary here at Life Point Church, and she is also a elementary education student at Georgia Southwestern State University. Kelsey Womack, thank you so much for being on the show. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. I'm very good. I just got done eating, so I'm full, ready for a nap. So I'm good.
See, I wish I had that problem because, right now, my son is grumbling and yelling at me, eat something, and I'm like, I can't. Seriously, I already raided the fridge. We have nothing here.
I know. Isn't it sad?
It's sad. We're supposed to be plentiful. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I'm glad to hear you're well fed and ready to go.
I'm good. Ready to go.
So let's jump in.
All right.
So Kelsey, in the intro, I told everyone that you are the secretary here at Life Point Church, a position many people probably didn't know you had here. So that being said, do you enjoy being the secretary, or do you find it kind of tedious and boring? Also, why?
So I think I told you this a while back, but the way that this whole job happened was my sister was actually the secretary, and she moved off to Cleveland, and when she moved back, she started working here. I think that's the timeline. But she obviously was doing her student teaching and stuff, so she couldn't do her job here. So we just knew that it was time to get someone else. Well, then we found another lady to do it, and she did it. And then she moved to Washington State with her husband because she got married. And now it's my turn to do it. So now I'm here. Yes, I like it. It's not. I love it. It's really not bad at all. It is tedious. I do have to watch what I do and stuff. But I work with my dad and Pastor Jay, so nothing is ever boring. If anything, I have to stay on my toes because there's no prediction with them. They are always just spur of the moment type people. So, yes, it's tedious, but I have fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Also, I'm guessing a perk of being here on a pretty regular basis, especially around lunchtime, is your dad just you and him getting to go out and have lunch.
Yes, and he pays.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to say it. But yeah, I know it was funny because I remember there was one day me and him went to lunch and we were at Carter's, and I don't know why, because normally me and him are pretty good at talking to each other, but for some reason there was a lot of dead space. I was sitting there like, wow, now that I think about it, outside of church, I don't really know you too well, do I?
No, it's fun. I definitely do have to keep on my toes though, because Pastor Jay found a Nerf gun in his drawer.
Oh Lord.
And he tried to get me with it, but I guess he didn't put the little bullet part in yet, like really good, and it flopped. And I was like, okay, I'll just get you back. So I scared him the other day. I did get him back. So I'm thinking about getting a water gun. So next time he'll try to shoot me with a Nerf gun, I'll just come back with water, and he probably won't try me again.
See, my thing is though, if you do it, try not to do it in his office. He has a lot of just random technology all over the place.
Right, and it's really, the vintage type thing. Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess it up. His office does look pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty the fact that he also never uses that big light overhead. He just uses a lamp here, and I'm just
with the window open. It's like a scenic thing that you'll see in a magazine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, we get it. You like coffee houses, whatever.
Right.
It's hi, Pastor Jay. We love you. Sort of. Anyways, now I also told everyone in the intro that you are a elementary education student at GSW, but you are not just a student. Don't listen, all the students watching out here. This girl, she's a good student, okay? She has made the dean's list at GSW. So with that being said, what drives you to be a good student? Everybody listen.
So me and my sister are total opposites, and through these questions.
Are you saying she's a bad student?
No, I'm not saying she's a bad student, but Kayla never had to study. She in high school, she would come home, not do anything. I would have to study, and I'm super OCD about my grades. I want an A or either a very high B. Kayla was like, I'm passing, it's okay. So we're very different on that spectrum of grades. Caleb, she paid attention to her grades and stuff. I'm just obsessive with my grades. So that is one thing that drives me. But I also I realize that like people don't get that opportunity to be able to go to a university and get the education that they want in the field that they want. And I think it's a blessing that I'm able to do that, especially right here in my hometown. I'm able to stay at home and save money. Thank you, Jesus. But yeah, I'm able to stay home. It's literally 10 minutes away from me. So I think just I try to do my best, me wanting to do my best. And two, my parents do pay for my school. So I'm not just going to go and let them blow their money and just to have a good time. So I guess it's just a little bit of both. I want to do good one for myself, but I also set high standards, and I'm blessed to have the opportunity to be able to do that. And through my education, I know that one day I'll come in contact with a student that I may be the person that God has placed in their life to kind of change their life and give them a new perspective.
Yeah, that's a really interesting way to look at it. And I know your sister, whenever I interviewed her, she said sort of on the same lines of how she can use her story to help young students. And I think she said that she wanted to be that teacher that was there for them at the school. And I think it's awesome that that's sort of the same thing you want to do, because we need more teachers like that who are
absolutely.
who are not just there to do a job, but to be there for the kids. And,
right.
I'm not saying that I'm not gonna try and say there are teachers that are just there for the job, because I don't know. I don't know why they do what they do, but I think it's really cool that that's your sort of motivation and drive in that situation.
Well, when you think about it, you got like the age group I want to do is kindergarten. So their minds literally, they believe anything you say. So from that time, if you just like flood them with positive things and, these, that you are good, you're smart, you're able to do this, you're capable, those things, they grow up throughout their years of school, and they don't get into the mindset of, I'm dumb, I can't do this. Because they always have that person there to support them. And I think that's a lot more important for kids that don't have that support system at home, but also they do. They know that they have it 10 times more when they come to school. I want my kids to enjoy coming to school and not just be like, oh my gosh, here we go again, another day in the life. But I've always said that I wanted to be that person that really supports them. And it's crazy because Kayla teaches 6th grade and I want to do the younger little bitty kids. But I guess the teacher definition, I guess you'd say, is the same. You just want to support those kids and let them know that they are capable of doing the things that they need to do.
That's really awesome. That's really awesome here. And you were talking about how, and this is just for kids who are going to college, and I hate to use the word kids because it makes me feel old, but I'm getting there.
Moving on up.
Yeah, moving on up and then feeling my body moving on down. Anyways, it's interesting when you talk about going to college and how your parents are paying for it, so you want to do a very good job. I've seen kids in similar situations who do not do good. And maybe I should say young adults. That's a better term.
There you go.
Young adults. But I've seen young adults who go to college, whose parents are paying for it, and they don't try. They don't. They just sort of show up. They've watched too many movies, and they think college is just a big party and all that stuff. Because movies don't really show very often how college students really spend most of their time just studying, especially the good ones. So I think it's interesting that you bring up the point. I think we need to start pushing students, like tell them right off the bat, like, listen, there are going to be parties, and the best thing you could possibly do is just say no and go study, because you're going to find things that are a lot more fun out of life than the stupid things you do at a party.
Right.
So, and I think, some would say it's a lot easier for you to say no to those things because you're a pastor's daughter.
Yeah.
But like you come home to your dad's house every night. And,
I like to live.
Yeah. It's like you can't be coming home all lit and whatnot.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't work out.
Pastor Bud would not be a big fan of that. But, it's I think it's a good thing to tell everybody that might be watching or listening. It's okay to say no to things.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yes, like
Yeah.
you don't have to feel peer pressure to go to that party or
Right.
have that kind of conversation or um, just be like everybody else to feel that way because they sit there and say, oh, you go to college, you got all this freedom now, so you're more capable of being like, oh, I'm gonna be myself here.
Yeah.
But peer pressure almost, like, I feel like it doubles when you get to college.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Because it's like you're there and you're seeing everybody do these things and it's like, oh wait, they're adults or they're upperclassmen in college, and so should I be doing what they're doing?
Right. And I think a lot of it comes too in that age group throughout high school. I was in one of my college classes the other day, and we were talking about how early acceptance and wanting to be accepted by other people starts, and it starts like in kindergarten. And the most hurtful phrase to a kindergartner is, "I'm not your friend no more." And so, as soon as you say that in kindergarten, you're led to. I guess throughout the years, you're led to like it comes to that conclusion that, oh, if I don't do what they do, I can't be their friend. I'm not gonna be, and I'm not gonna have anybody. And nobody wants to be weird and alone. You know what I mean? So I guess the way I guess the way that and I'm thankful for this, the way that my parents have raised me is it's okay to be different. I'm Kelsey, you're Ross. I'm not meant to be like you, you're not meant to be like me. And that's okay. We can be different.
Good for you.
So so I think that's super important to carry throughout college. I think that's a big part of why I say no to those things, and a lot of it is because of my standards that I hold myself to. And that's something between me and Jesus, that my morals that I have that I want to keep. And I think it's just something that it's an opportunity. I think college education is an opportunity that, yes, you'll always be able to have education. And I guess that's a misunderstanding a lot of times, is we do think it's always going to be there. But until the opportunity is taken away, we don't really realize what we're being blessed with. So I guess that's kind of my 2 cents on it. It is okay to say no. It's okay to be different. And if you find freedom in college, then you have the freedom to say no. So I think that's the whole thing.
And also remember, when it comes to acceptance, the great thing about our faith is that Christ has already accepted us.
Absolutely.
That he already decided he wants us, because you're talking about like how in kindergarten no one wants to be the weird one.
Right.
That was me. And so like I never had friends for long, if I were to be honest with you. Like I don't really have any like lifelong friends or anything like that. All I have is just like people who I was friends with at the lunch table or in this classroom. Well,
but when we look at Ross now, Ross didn't have to have friends to have a party on his own.
Yeah.
Ross party. You look over there in the corner, Ross is just dancing randomly. Yeah. So.
Yeah. It honestly sometimes I weird myself out a lot. But yeah, no, and that's the great thing. When you feel that acceptance from Christ,
you don't long for everything else.
Yeah, it's like everything else. Like you can sit in the corner and dance,
right?
Despite people watching. Like, listen,
yes.
You don't wear weird hats like this just without confidence. Okay. So, speaking of things that you're confident in, now. Kelsey, normally this is the part of the show where I give people who are in a relationship the opportunity to
go ahead and expose me, Ross.
Talk about. So Kelsey is no, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh!
But and as far as I know, you don't have a significant other. That's as far as I know. Girl, you do you. Whatever you do. So. I do know, however, that you spend a large amount of quality time with your bestie, Sylvia. And so, with that being said, what are 5 things you love about Sylvia?
Oh, boy. This is a lot. Okay, so I should probably tell the story of how we met. So, me and Sylvia, she lived with her mom in Alabama. Never knew she existed. My dad being the chaplain at the sheriff's department, and her dad and granddad both worked there. So they knew each other for a while and still never knew she existed. Well, she moved down here and with her dad, and we met one Sunday, and literally her dad pushed her to me, and my dad pushed me to her and said, "Hey, y'all be friends." And so we're just standing there. I was like, "Hey, how are you?" And she's shy. Like, if she doesn't know you, she's shy. So she was like, I'm good. And so I was like, this girl don't talk much. Like, what am I supposed to do with her? So no, we hit it off. And now we if we don't talk every day, we're with each other. So I guess my number one thing that I absolutely like love about my bestie is the fact that her heart is just totally set on Jesus and making people know Jesus.
By the way, people making friends, take notes. That's number one.
Yes, yes, because I think that is so important because it leads to number two. I can come to her and she can come to me and we can trust each other with whatever it is that we talk about. And we can pray for each other. We can guide each other. That's important. I think, especially at my age, I'm 20, and it's hard to find friends like that, especially in our world because we're changing friends like it's new clothes or whatever.
I'm 24. I'm gonna let you know it don't get easier.
So I mean, so that's probably my top two is one, her heart for the Lord, and two, she's my go-to girl. Like I can just go to her if I need something. My third is probably she's just as sporadic as me. Once you get to know her, like we are 90 to nothing talking, and I mean it's insane. Number four would probably be she's down to go get Chick-fil-A at any point. We literally every Monday this summer, and I'm probably telling on myself because I think my mom and dad are backstage, so they're probably going to look at my bank account after this, but every Monday we would go to Chick-fil-A in Leesburg because the one at GSW was closed. Mm-hmm. And we would just sit in the parking lot and eat Chick-fil-A. That's friendship right there, okay? That is friendship. And number five is probably she's the best. She knows what I'm thinking when I make a face, and my face makes a lot of faces. So she finishes my sentences. She knows me, and she knows me. So I think that's awesome because I have somebody that I can lean on, and I think it's good to have a support system. She's my support system. So I love her to death. She's awesome.
Yeah. It's like the old song says, we all need someone to lean on.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think it's really, honestly, someone who watches y'all's friendship from the outside looking in, honestly, there are times where I have to catch myself, be like, remember, jealousy is a bad thing, because y'all's friendship, it's awesome. I love it because the fact that y'all always have someone to hang out with, and the fact that you guys are always hanging out and talking, and
right.
The fact that you guys have that spiritual kinship going on, and I think it's really cool, and I'm really I always looking at other people's lives, and just when they have a good thing going, I'm really happy for their good thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's really y'all's friendship. It's just a really awesome thing.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how shy Sylvia is at first. I remember the first time me and Sylvia, I think I went up to Sylvia one time and asked her, because I like asking big questions.
What? No.
Yeah. In fact, I created a whole show where I could do it.
Where you just expose everybody.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
But I think I went up to her and asked her, I was like, okay, so I don't really know Sylvia, so I'm just going to ask her one of those questions that reveals a lot. What is the thing that you want to do when you become, get into your career and stuff? And she told me about how she wants to do the Christian counseling thing, and I was just I never saw that, right? Because
it honestly is. It's insane because to be shy and then to go from that. But that's the thing about Sylvia is, I guess there's technically 6 things. Sorry, but she literally has the biggest heart for people. She loves just like Jesus. I mean, now don't get me wrong. She can have her moments where she's like, "Oh, I could slap them," but she is literally. The grace that she shows to people is amazing, and you can literally see Jesus through her. And I think to me, to have a friend like that, it makes me want to strive to do better and be more like Jesus. And I think anybody watching, if you're a college student, high school student, any age, having a friendship that pushes you towards Jesus is the best kind of friendship you can have, because that is where you grow. That's where and you're not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes, but it's nice to have somebody there to help you and guide you along that path. So she's awesome. I love her to death.
Yeah. All right. So we've had our praise Sylvia moments. Sylvia, I don't know if you know this, but we love you.
Yes, we love you.
So let's move on back in, focusing on you.
Okay.
So Kelsey, you are known for being a certain kind of way. And
a certain kind of way.
And that certain kind of way is sassy girl. You are known for being
me?
No.
Really?
No, not you. But you were known for being very, I gotta put this, unafraid of saying what you want to say. So.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So the question then, based off of that, is where do you think that sassiness comes from, and what drives that sassiness in you?
Hands down, my dad. Hands down. He is the type of person, like, he's just kind of, he doesn't have a filter. It just comes out. And I'm the same way. I have my facial expressions. Sometimes I don't even know I'm doing it. So, like, when people look at me and they're like, why are you making that face? I'm like, I get offended. I'm like, I'm not making a face. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I made the face. I did not mean to do that. No, it's definitely I get it from my dad. We're very quick-witted, super quick-witted, and that gets me in trouble a lot of times. What drives it? I don't know. I think people just put opportunities in front of me, and I don't know. I don't really know what drives it. It's just who I am. I'm the type of person, I don't want to be all Debbie Downer all the time. So that's why I try to make jokes and make fun and laugh all the time, because it's so much funner to laugh. Way more fun.
It's like, I always get in trouble for puns. That's the thing I get in trouble with.
Like dad jokes?
Like dad jokes.
Oh, gosh.
Which is why I dress like a dad on a regular basis. But, so I get in trouble a lot for that. But the thing is, though, you're talking about how, like, whenever the opportunity is in front of you, I can't help it. You throw the ball up, I'm going to slam it in, okay? Like, that's just how it is.
I know. It's like, I mean, you kind of put yourself in this predicament, so.
Like, and I always tell people, like, listen, playback. Like,
yeah.
if you want to.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You want to. I got thick skin. I can take it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, trust me. If you ain't making fun of me, someone else is. So, it's like I might as well be someone I'm already having a conversation with. So I'm just saying, sort of, I understand that thing.
Yeah.
And you, it's funny you say that about your dad, because I feel like that's just like from someone who very much looks up to him. Mm-hmm. Like, that's something. I feel like a lot of preachers have to have, is that ability to just sort of, like, off the bat have something to say, which is why I always listen to him talk to folks, because he always has something to say, to everything, and I'm just like, man,
where do you get that? Where does that stuff come from?
Yeah,
I think that's one good thing is, I will say a positive about my sassiness is most of the time it'll create relationships, because they're like, oh, okay, she's not just like so strict and you can't laugh around her. I mean, like, I want somebody to feel comfortable with me, and the more, like, my parents have always told me this: if I don't joke you, I don't like you. If I'm not, like, joking and messing with you, then I don't like you, and that should be where you worry. So, no, most of the time that gives me a doorway to, I guess, in a sense, let people know that I'm just like they are. I'm no different. So I can joke around just as much as they can. So it's fun.
I remember when I first came up into the youth.
Oh, boy.
I really, honestly, I couldn't take it. Like, I was just like, she is too much for me. I can't handle it. Like, because there were times where, like, I was sitting there and, like, I'd be like, hey, Kelsey, and then, like, you would say something back, and I was just like, I just said, hey, like, I didn't need all that. But it's funny, because at first, like, it's something I couldn't, like, honestly, I couldn't stand. But now, your sassiness is something that I actually very much enjoy.
And look, we have a relationship.
It's
we started a relationship.
See, guys? and now we're friends, and we
Yeah.
go get mani pet. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. Mm-mm.
Ross, no.
No, I don't ever go there. Actually, no, I did once in middle school with my mom, and I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of enjoyable.
Pedicures are the bomb.
They do feel good.
Oh,
like,
yes.
Like you see grown men in there. Like as soon as a grown man walked through the door, I was like, okay, I feel better about this now. It's like, oh, this is okay. I'm not gonna do it again. Like I wouldn't spend my own money on it, but
hey, this is free, whatever.
Yeah. So, Kelsey, you have been fantastic today, and I really
Thank you.
appreciate it. So, with that being said, I would really just like to give you the opportunity to be like, is there anything like that I didn't cover that you just want people to know about you? Just sort of talk about with everybody and just be like, hey, this is something about me you didn't know.
I'm not mean. I swear, like I'm not mean. I'm a nice person. I'm just a joking person. I don't like being serious all the time. There's not. You covered pretty much all of it. I'm pretty basic. I go to work, I go to school, and then I go home, and then I come to church, and then I go back home. So I don't really have a wild life or whatever. I will say I think that my family should have a reality TV show because we are one of a kind. Like we are crazy. So now I think you covered pretty much all of it. So I've enjoyed it. It's fun. It's been fun.
Well, I appreciate that compliment there. It's nice to know that my questions covered about.
Yeah, I think they have.
Yeah. So, like I said, Kelsey, you've been awesome. So I want to give you the opportunity right now to speak to everyone watching and listening, and just say something straight from the heart, something meaningful, something just that you feel passionate about. So
okay, I definitely want to target my age group. Like earlier when we were talking about saying no is okay and being the goody goody is okay. I don't want to discourage you guys from having fun in college because I think college is a time where you're going through a phase where you are transitioning into your adult life, but I also do want to encourage you. There's ways to have fun, connect with the church somewhere. Come to Life Point. We have an awesome young adults class. We're all fun. I promise you, we're not weird. I mean, okay, we're weird a little bit, but
like in the good way.
Yeah, I just want to encourage you. It's okay to be who you are. It's okay to have those standards and not have to lower them for anybody or anybody else's expectations. And I think that's what really has gotten me through high school and through college, almost through college. If Jesus accepts me and is proud of me, I've done my job. I don't have to please anybody else. I don't have to make sure that what I say is right, aligning with what they say. If you're pleasing Jesus, you're on the right track. And I think that is one super important thing for college students to understand is you don't have to blend into the crowd. You don't have to try to fit in and be accepted. Jesus accepts you as you are. He loves you, and he didn't make you to be like everybody else. He made you for a reason. So step into that purpose and just try to please God.
Well, amen. And with that being said, thank you so much again for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I had fun.
Well, we'll have to do this again sometime. And thank you to everyone who is watching or listening. I really appreciate it. Please make sure to like and share and all those things people say at the end of a YouTube video. And just go out, find someone that you kind of know, that you may just see in passing, and sit down, talk with them, and close the distance. Have a wonderful day. God bless.